Okay. Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and live stream on YouTube and TikTok. Let's see. Let me check some things. Let's see. Um All right, y'all. I know it's super last minute. Things might be lagging out a little bit. Let me turn this off. Trying to turn off the okay, live preview. There we go. Should be good to go. Pray y'all are doing well. Let's see. New chats. But yeah, I decided to do this last minute. Man, I did not realize how much, like on the TikTok side of things, people were defending the AI conversation. Like they're really, really defending um the ethics of it. And I want to thank anybody who's checking out the YouTube stream. Just want to thank anybody who's hopped in. What's good, Danny? How you doing, man? I hope y'all are doing well. I've been working on this song. I decided I wanted to stream. I just dropped I'm doing good. I don't know, Danny, if you've been checking out my page, but dude, I posted about what happened with Suno, and it's really interesting. So Suno lost a major lawsuit in Germany in July, and what ended up happening was in them losing, I think Spotify is responding by basically saying that they now have this new feature. Yeah, me too. Generative AI is just like there's a line. I think there's a line with AI. The problem is like, if it's fully generated, like generative AI, yeah, get it out of here. There's some people that it's like, okay, maybe they struggle with composition or they struggle with certain parts. Like, and that's the thing. Spotify is now making this new feature called AI Persona. So it's like it will tag stuff automatically saying that this is AI, and make it so it's not algorithmically playlisted. So if you guys are fans of that, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe, check out the stream, check out the page. I really want to talk about this stuff because I think it's super important. But yeah, and that's the problem is a lot of people want to justify replacing human creativity with AI, and the thing that was lost in that Suno lawsuit was actually insane. Like they proved that the data that was in there was 99% a song that was in a registered database. So when you look at the lawsuit, it was German songs that they picked, and also some other songs that were in their catalog. And bro, to be honest, they lost 100%. Like it wasn't something where, oh, if I'm the judge, I would say no. No, they lost 100%. So it doesn't totally. It can. But the issue is the material it's trained on is so close to something that's already copyrighted that somebody could potentially argue that it's copyrighted. You see what I'm saying? Because there's different types of copyright. You got your composition and your recording copyright. And the major issue I see is that they broke the recording copyright to essentially say we're trying to save you from breaking the law, but they broke the law to try and fix it, and then they lost the lawsuit basically showing that AI is like, there's songs in multiple instances where like mustard on the beat and like producer tags are being recreated into beats. So yeah, it's like taking songs that are copyrighted and then making songs that are pretty much copyrighted. Not always, not in every case, but that's what is argued, and that's why they lost. I wouldn't, because if we did it on the stream, I'd get shut down. Not on TikTok, probably on YouTube. They're a lot more strict with this type of stuff. But I think from an ethical standpoint, it's wrong in a myriad of ways. There's not like one right thing about it. And it's a lot of breaking the laws, encouraging. And if you guys like this content, you like this type of stuff, share the live, like the live, subscribe to the pages. I want to make more long-form content talking about this. I also, I'm a Christian. I want to talk about that position as well, where like Christian worship music that's AI, get that out of here, bro. I think that's like the next, like, how there's like 7 deadly sins? That should be the 8th one. Because it's like, oh, dude, you're not only stealing from people to justify the stance, like that had happened, and there's evidence in court, but then you're like, I've made this analogy. It's like stealing a car to get to church. Like, you didn't have to do all that, bro. So I own a photo video company, and I struggle to find music that's not YouTube sounding. That's really tough too, because I mean, there is some music that I actually use from YouTube's free library on my videos. I think my biggest challenge is as a songwriter, like if you need stuff like that, I'd be more than willing to send you stuff that I have in my catalog if you want to use it. Because I know people need music like that. But I think a lot of the stuff I do have that I've tried to make for videos, it might actually be on the more like mysterious or sad or somber. So if you need that, feel free to DM me here on TikTok. And I'll give you my email, and we can like forward and have a conversation. Cause I'm more than willing, like if you need stuff for ads or if you need stuff like just to make content, I think that I'd be more than willing to send you songs and stuff that you could use for your own promotional content if you need that. But I just want to thank y'all. I mean, this is a song I was writing, and I was going to play it. I want to see if it's going to blow up, because I know I'm using, like, I switched the settings, and it was, like, making my computer lag a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Bro, you have a cross in your bio and you're saying stuff like that. You got to think about that for a second. Right there. Yeah, but it was glitching out. It was glitching out. Let me see if I can get the buffer set back up. All right, Loki, right? My bad. Have a good one. Can you guys still hear the stream? Everything's still good? Okay, sweet. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This one was called Temptations.
Temptation, slowly sway my way while I've been waiting.
No, not yet.
For your return.
I've been working on this one.
Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return.
Thank you.
My head's hanging lower than before.
Yeah, that was important to string too, so I can work on music, talk to you guys. I'll see you. Thank you.
Try to change it on my own again.
I like the stream changes.
My situation. Oh,
I forgive you, Raph. I know you're saying something crazy.
Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient, show me how to live.
'Cause I wrote this one on stream last time.
Slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient, show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptations creeping
Glitching out a little bit.
in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make
Thank you.
space.
So getting your drums to sound real, that's actually a great question. So part of it was samples. So I was using samples that I can use on these records. I actually found some really cool loops in Ableton that I really enjoyed. And what really makes them pop out in the way that they do comes down to a few things. It comes down to like placement, timing, right? And then the mixing. Like there's a mixture of it. If you get sounds and you do varying things to the velocity and the timing, you can make it sound more human. Like if you're just programming drums, you can make things sound more human that way. If you have samples, you can chop samples. So that's kind of how I got some of that sound. Is I'm doing a mixture of real drum samples and electronic drum samples that I created and blending the two. And I'm putting some processing on it too to make it happen. So this is everything without the processing, like just sounds a little dry, but other than this, I forgot that there's another layer I added onto it as well. So this is like electronic drums and the drum sample, like just the kick drum. Now, I actually used like an effect plugin and duplicated the drum track exactly where it is, and it adds this, I used a few effect plugins to like get this kind of weird, real phasey type sound like that. So that's layered in there, right? So layering helps with getting your drums to sound that way. Like you can blend different real sounds, you can blend many different types of sounds and use effects on them and layer them together in the loop. Now, what really made them pump though was I did like transient shaping, which when you use that, that's tools like that allow you to basically bump the attack and pull the sustain. And the sustain is how long something stands for, and attack is how hard it hits. So sometimes you use a transient shaper or a tool like that, and it allows you to adjust how hard something's hitting and then how long that is sustaining for. And adjusting that allows it to, feel a little bit punchier. Like, and then I clip it so it manages the transients. That also helps with that sound. Then I use I Am Pusher. It just adds more body. And then I like it, but I wanted even more fatness, so I added tape saturation. And then I wanted it really smashed. So I used this free plugin, Polarity, Multiband Dynamics. And, everybody has a different mixing style. My style is like a mixture of extreme and subtle processes. Like, you noticed how things kind of progressively got more smashed. That was kind of the goal with the sound. It's like a mixture of sound design and good mixing. Like, do I ever pan drums or nah? Actually, I think I did a little bit with these. I think it depends on what the mix needs, right? So things that need to be in mono, like kick drums, like things that are supposed to hit you in the chest and translate on all systems, I keep those dead center. Hi-hats, open hats, no, panning is good. Like, for example, like when you record a drum kit into a console, like if you've ever worked on an analog setup, a lot of times people do try to emulate the stereo image to where it's like you're the drummer sitting at the drum set. You know what I mean? So that'll be the focus, is using the panning to not just go hard left or hard right, but to create the space. And actually, most of the time with panning, I would say I do it with everything else. Like vocals, I'll usually keep the lead dead center, but all of the ad-libs and all the extra stuff, like this stuff,
slowly sway my way while I've been waiting,
just to create the space.
You've been gracious,
and then you blend it in.
Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting.
And the trick with it too is don't do hard left and hard right. Use the knobs to find the point. Like, use the sliders to actually find the point where it all fits phase-wise. So, like, when you start combining things, you're like, oh, I can hear it more clearly because I created the space. That's the point of the pan knob. Sometimes what you could do with volume and pan beats what you could do with an EQ and a compressor. And that is the trick. And there's no one right way to do it. Like, you could do something the wrongest way possible and it just sounds good, and that's what matters. But just knowing what the tool does is important. Panning is not about extremes. It's about, okay, how far left and how far right do I want it in the stereo image to help create depth.
Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. And take away while I've been waiting for your return. You've been gracious. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting.
Oh, this last part, I forgot about this.
I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better.
That last part too, it's like a mixture. Like, I've learned that if you use some sounds and you do extreme processing, and then you use other sounds and you do subtle processing, and you essentially build these like parallel chains, right? Like, parallel can sometimes be more powerful than just very extreme things. Because it all blends together. Like you could do what is called New York compression or parallel compression. I don't use it all the time, but it's an example. Where you're like compressing super hard on a compressor, certain settings, and then blending it in so that you're getting that mixture of the dry signal and the compressed signal all at once. You could do parallel in so many different things, and it allows things to essentially find their own space and find, okay, who's up front, who's in the back. Because if you're in a band, right, and if you look at a band on a stage, is everybody at the lip of the stage? No, sometimes it's the drummers in the back. You know, the bass player's back there with the drummer. The guitar player's kind of like off to the side a little bit. So you got to like, playing with space is not about extremes. It's about finding the space where everybody is. And I think that could be tough sometimes with this stuff. Also, mono check your stuff. Mono check is such a powerful tool because when you're checking your stuff in mono, what you can do is find out if things are being balanced volume-wise wrong before you go into panning. Because sometimes you could break your mix by panning too wide and making things too wide. But when it comes to your, let me see. Whoops. When it comes to levels, mono is great. Like, listening in mono is great because that's what most people are going to hear on their phones. That's how they're going to know what is actually being played. It's really powerful. Some sounds are meant to be mono because it'll translate better, and then some sounds are meant to affect the stereo image and fill the space. Yeah, mono, actually a lot of engineers like using mono to really check the levels and the character of a vocal or like of where things are sitting. And notice how like you can kind of have a good idea if something's too out of phase. Like if you're in mono. So for example, right? Like I have these guitar parts, they're panned. If I go to mono, and I start pushing them way too wide, like they start to kind of get too quiet. So like if you play it back on the phone, it's not going to translate as well. No, actually, what I use for drums anymore is, since I have a copy of Ableton Live Suite, I've been finding drum breaks in their stock folder, and then I have drum samples. I also have a free, if you guys want it, if you need it, DM me. I can send you the link to my Gumroad. I have free Serum and Vital presets and free drum samples and loops that you guys can use for music production. If you need them, you can donate to it if you want, but you basically can just put $0 and download it for free. So what I would say is if you need new samples that you want to use for your productions, I don't inherently like say, ooh, Splice is bad. I would say it could be real hit or miss with what you find. But overall, it's pretty cool.
Temptation, slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your reason. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your reason. My head's hanging lower than before, and I can't fake it. My sin reason, try to change it on my own again. My mind can't take it. My sin nature, Holy Spirit, open up my heart. I want to repent. I'm in danger. I need Jesus.
Yeah, it can get bad.
Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting.
Now, the one thing I probably do need to do with this mix is some automation. I think a lot of people will underplay automation. I have for a long time. It can be kind of tedious, but I think it's super important. And so the way I'm going to approach automation here is, even though you have compression, you have things going on that are gluing it together, you essentially use the automation to get the levels. Like if something feels too quiet for a moment or too loud, just get it just right in the pocket. And what I like to do for that is, instead of using a fader, I use a utility, because then you could copy that automation other places. And it's a little bit more manageable if you're like, well, I like the pattern, but I felt like the overall balance was too quiet or too loud. You're there. I'm not saying that on here. No. I know I've got the medieval type of vibe. I'm a pretty strong dude. I think I bench like, right now I'm at 215, so I could swing an axe. So not yet. I don't think God would want me to do that. That sounds like a really dangerous field. Sounds like something where if you had a family, like... No, dude. We do not... I can't say that on here. I probably would get banned.
Temptation, slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your reason.
And so the other thing I would say too with mixes is get feedback from other people. Because you know what I've noticed, and I've heard it from everybody that I've worked with, or I've showed them my music, they always say my vocals are too loud. And then I wonder why, but then I actually listen back to the mixes in other places, and I'm like, oh, dude, I still got to work on that. But
Temptation, slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your reason. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your reason. My head's hanging lower than before, and I can't fake it. My sin reason, try to change it on my own again. My mind can't take it. My sin nature.
so I think here I'm feeling like the lead is just a little too quiet, and that's exactly why I'm like, okay. So what's interesting about some of the things that I'm doing on this record is I group the lead vocals for the hook and the verse, so all the processing's the same on those tracks. And then on the dubs and the highs, I have those tracks grouped together as well. Grouping is super important because once I've gotten everything that I think needs to be, like, I don't want to process every single little file. I process as much as I can in groups. And then I group everything together one last time as a vocal group, like a vocal bus. And so I'm feeling like, okay, just the lead in this part, it's not popping through the way I want it to. So I think that's why I need to automate it a little bit and give it a little boost and then figure out kind of as the song goes a little bit more. But here's good. Right here's where I'm kind of like, could use a little something, you know. What guitar do I have? I have a PRS SE Custom 24. I really like that guitar a lot. I've had it for a long time. Yeah, that's exactly what I did on this record. And then for this guitar part, I actually didn't. So the answer is it depends on what you want. This one, I kind of did want it to be like the isolated one track. But for the heavy guitars, dude, I love recording multiple takes and then panning them. Sometimes I've done like up to 4 takes of the same riff. And that's actually a secret that some of those dudes do in the studio is like Meshuggah. You know, they'll do multiple takes and then they'll do different amps. You know what I mean? And like blend all the different tones together. I've seen that kind of stuff in the studio. I think it makes a lot of sense. I can't fake it. My sin reads. Try to change it. On my own again, my mind can't take it. I see Holy Spirit, open up my heart, I want to leave it. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. Save me from my pain. Lower than before, and I can't fake it. My sin reads. Try to change it. On my sin reads. My sin reads. I think I need to like, just. My sin reads. Try to change it. You know, I should be trying to listen to this in mono because that's the thing is you get a decent idea of how loud it really is, but when you hear it in mono, like this is how someone would hear it on a phone or other places or like a car speaker sometimes. Even it just depends on how old the car is. Like on the older, like older cars and stuff like that. It's like real subtle stuff. Thank you, man. And you know what's so funny about that too? You know how many people were in the comments that when I said I don't want to do anything with AI in that way, they were like saying I make bad music and that's why. It's like, no, dude, I work 2 jobs and I haven't been promoting my music. that's why I haven't gotten where I need to go. It's my fault. I take full responsibility for it. But, you know, ironically, one of my jobs is I'm a stagehand. I've worked for Grammy-winning artists before. Like, I've built the stage. And that's the crazy thing, man. A lot of people that don't understand who this impacts, like, you're not just impacting the big artists and the labels, you're impacting the whole entertainment industry. You're impacting people like me who do events, who do shows. You're impacting, like, all the different venues. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't think about the different places that regular people that and it's crazy because, like, they're like thinking about, well, you know, I don't care, I don't really go and see shows anyways. And it's like, I mean, there's a ton of people that do. There's still like a whole separate, there's so many different industries that will be impacted by what AI does. And whether it be the information it gives to people or this kind of stuff where, like, yeah, they can't sound like a hit artist, so they don't need to steal that voice. Right. And that's the thing, is they want to be that person. They want to be that artist. And what I've been saying was that lawsuit that happened in Germany, they proved that the data that Suno held onto could replicate the song that it was claiming that it was trained on to protect for copyright up to 99%. And they inputted the data, they did all of it, and they set it up in court, and they proved that, yes, you could just finesse the system. And it's funny because they were like, oh, well, they made an update so it won't do that anymore. So you're saying the last 2 years, all of the problems that just happened on Spotify with AI and the playlists and all the BS? Yeah, dude. And the irony is if you've ever done anything with digital in the live sound area, like, you can't just be an audio engineer. It's more complicated now. Like, you can't just AI your mixer board. Like, Dante is super complicated. What can be super complicated when it comes to the scale. And when we moved to digital in the live scene, it allowed us to do amazing things that we could never do before. But it allowed new people to get jobs, right? But when it came to AI, like, it destroys what we consider rights. And that's the issue I have with it, is like, if there was different rights, rules, and regulations for it, I mean, it's a different ball game. But, like, the way that they handled it and took it basically destroys human rights that were given to us, at least as of the 80s, when it comes to recording technology. Like, it's still relatively recent when it comes to digital recordings. But, you know, that's like the major issue I see with it, is all of that. And they don't realize, like, even the music I make here, I produce this all on stream. I had to record it. I had to find samples that I genuinely like that I can use. I had to process them. I had to mix them. I had to spend time. I spent years working on music like this. And, you know, I believe it's a gift that God has given me. And I don't want it to go to waste. I feel convicted. Yeah, have you tried stealing music? Probably. That's the problem, dude, is I've been accused of that before, and it was by labels, dude. Like, I would be live streaming me making original music, and they would copyright claim my streams years ago. This would be on Facebook, this would be on YouTube, bro. And I wasn't even using samples, like, that would be considered that. I would make songs that they would think would sound similar enough. And they would, I've made videos on this before, where, like, they tried to say one of my hip hop songs that I was making years ago on the stream sounded like Ski Mask the Slump God, and they put a copyright claim on the live stream. And it's funny, YouTube can detect that, but when it comes to, like, that's what people don't understand, is you guys are playing a game That's how they get their money, dude. Is it doesn't matter if it's exact. If it's close enough, that's your rights. And that's the point I try to get across to people is like, if you use tools that have copyrighted licensing, yeah, now I'm gonna steal your voice with AI. See, and that, dude, that's what's so criminal about it. Is they're like, oh, now I don't have to pay a producer. Now I don't have to pay a singer or a vocalist. And it's like, it's horrible, dude. It's the best analogy I've come up with it so far is stealing a car to go drive to church. Like, you think you're genuinely doing a good thing because you're going to a place, like that would typically have some good moral characters. Depends on what church you go to, who you hang around. But, like, along the way, what you had to do to get there was take something from someone else, dude. Like that's, or I made the other analogy today, stealing a car to go to work. Like, think about that. Stealing a car to go drive to your job. Like, oh, I need to go make money. So instead of catching a bus or paying for an Uber or getting your buddy to get you a ride, you go steal a car and then you go drive it to work. Or if you want to really get into it because people pay for Suno, right? Like, just imagine you bought a no title Facebook Marketplace if you know car. And you drive that to work and then you get pulled over by the police and they check the VIN and they go, this car's stolen. And you're like, what? I didn't know, man. I just bought this on Facebook Marketplace. It didn't have a title or anything like that. And like, that's what I think most people who make AI music are going to be in that situation. They bought the stolen vehicle and they didn't know in the Suno, if you know contract that you signed by paying for it, that you don't own what you're paying for. You don't have real rights to what you're paying for. Like, I think the best analogy for Suno right now is buying a stolen car to drive yourself to work. Like, because the whole point of you buying a car to go to work is so you can make some money. And so you buy it, but you not knowing the terms of buying that vehicle, VIN is all messed up. It's a stolen vehicle, man. And you don't even know it. You don't even know because you don't know what's under the hood. You didn't know that it was basically chop shopped. Yeah. Man, and that one guy who just kept spamming in the comments, like trying to just try to prove a point. He like tried to call me to debate about it. And he said that my opinion is silent when I'm providing the evidence the way that I was, which was basically the part about, Gemma winning the lawsuit because they proved that they were using copyrighted material to train their models. And he was saying, I'm not on the side of it being wrong or right. But your point, and then I posted the rest of the article that proved that the AI could generate the song 99% accuracy. Oh, yeah, at least. Not a lot. Because I looked at his page, like, if he's like grifting people on the back end, bro. And because he tagged me in a video trying to call me out on it. But I can't prove that. You know what I mean? Like, we would need receipts for that. I'm not going to assassinate his character on it. But I am going to call out the lies. Like, the saying my music is bad, that's just cap. Saying that I don't know what I'm talking about or I'm not informed, that's just cap. Literally, it's changing right now. Spotify is potentially recanting everything they're doing with AI. If this AI persona thing that they just announced is in the ballparks, it's in the works, man, it's a scary place to be for AI artists, because the whole reason why they were getting play was because it was getting algorithmically pushed. And that's been proven. And I've even had people in the comments saying, man, I hate the fact that AI gets put into these random playlists that I'll just be listening to. And I have to skip the song. But by the time you figured out it's AI, they got to play, and there's even people talking about, 1 billion streams and counting. And I was like, anybody can bot their streams, bro. I fell for that trap way before I gave my life to Christ and was doing music that leans towards Christian. Like, this is technically Christian music. Yeah, and that one play accent matters in the algorithm. Exactly. So it just like keeps pushing this stuff. And but even then, I've fallen for the bot farms. And let me tell you how slimy it really is. So when I went under my old alias, I had went to somebody who had connections with Rock Nation, and she had promised me, hey, I can get you playlist streams. I can get you on this playlist. You just pay me this amount of money, and it's 100% real. And I'm like, okay, sure. Because I knew she had the connection. She was talking to people like that. She had video evidence of it. She was on live streams with them. Like, she wasn't talking to Rock Nation at one point. And so I paid the bots. I found out it was bots after a year, because I was like, why am I not making any money off of this? And then I contacted my distributor, United Masters, at the time. And I said, hey, I think I was lied to, because I paid for playlisting and I never got paid royalties. Do you guys know what's going on? They go to the fraud department. Spotify tells them that these were artificially boosted, but they never removed the plays and they never removed the song. So Spotify knew. And it was the way that they did it was a way that the industry does it. Like, the industry is known to artificially boost their numbers, but they don't make money off of those artificial plays. It just boosts the numbers. Well, they don't make money directly off of that. What they do is they use that as a negotiation tactic in a new deal. So, for example, that might be like, say Drake wanted to get a new sponsorship from Nike or like from another company, right? And they would use that to artificially pump it. No, that's the thing, is even if Symphonic has that tool, right? Spotify has their own tools to come back to Symphonic and tell them, hey, this song has artificial engagement. We're taking it off the platform. They knew that the song had artificial engagement that I paid for. They kept the plays. They didn't take the song off the platform. They just didn't pay me, bro. They didn't pay me for 40,000 streams. Think about that. So Spotify was 100% aware of the algorithmic boosting and the botting. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Because this is what they do in the industry, bro. A lot of people act like I'm not knowledgeable on this and like I haven't been through this. I mean, I'm a former Sweetwater sales engineer. I used to sell the gear. I've done backline for major artists. I still do. Like, I'm involved in productions. I worked FIFA this year. Like, I'm still involved in the entertainment industry in a lot of ways. Just not like whatever Diddy's did or like the industry like that. I'm not dealing with managers and the parties and all that. Like, I got close to some people like that, and I don't know. I feel like God protected me from all that stuff, because that'd have been real bad, man. That would have just been more trauma. But I think a lot of people don't know this about how the industry is operated. And yes, it's about money, but there's a lot of things that they do in general that are just wrong to hold that over your head. And the way that the model works now too is it's not like you really own anything. Even like Meg the Stallion, right? You know how they're like, oh, she signed a new deal with Rock Nation that says she owns her masters. Yeah, well, who owns Meg the Stallion? Oh, wait. That's right. Rock Nation. Like the way this is why it's copyright infringement too, because people don't know. Oh yeah, great talk, bro. They don't know that your name and likeness is signed into those contracts, which is what makes the AI theft even more illegal. You're like stealing somebody's identity and their intellectual property that's owned by a label, bro. That's why they do this stuff. It's so bad. It's so slimy. Like,
Lower than before, and I can't fake my senorita. Try to change it on my own again. My mind can't take it. Try to change it. Try to change it.
I think it does. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I yeah, it's a little loud. Like it needs to be felt, not heard. Yeah. Right there. I'm getting the vocals real pocketed. I want to do automation on it and get the mix right and then see where it goes from there. I think I'm real close to like actually mastering it and finishing the song.
Lower than before, and I can't fake it. My senorita, try to change it. Try to change it. Try to change it. On my own.
Yeah. That's why you do it, because compression, and when you over compress the vocal, it sounds bad. But then when you like actually pocket the volume over time, it really allows you to get that to sit in the mix better.
Try to change it. Try to change it. On my own again, my mind can't take it. On my own again, my mind can't take it. My signature. Holy Spirit, open up my heart. I want to leave it. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make. I need Jesus. Save me from Holy Spirit.
Okay, I might need to.
Holy Spirit. My signature. Holy Spirit. Open up my heart. I want to leave it. I'm in danger.
See, like that, I'm in danger. That's like too loud. So I just need to.
I'm in danger. But I want to return. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. I need Jesus. I need Jesus. Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. Temptation.
And then right here, it's too loud. Yeah.
Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space.
Let me know if the
my
chat
heart
in
and my
YouTube
mind
is
so
working.
you can change it for the better. Temptation. Always make my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been gracious.
How y'all doing tonight?
Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptation. Always make my way while I've been waiting for your return.
Yeah, I'm real close on this song. Like, subscribe, do all that. And right now it's in mono just so I can get the vocal levels right. Once I kind of, I feel like it's real close. Let me play it in stereo.
Creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation. Always way my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been gracious. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptation. Always way my way while I've been waiting for Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been gracious. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better.
Oh yeah.
Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart
Alright,
and my
dude.
mind so you can change it for the better.
I think balance wise, it's pretty good. It's in a good spot.
Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better.
Yeah, he's a little bit more sub.
Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. My head's hanging lower than before, and I can't fake it. My senorita try to change it on my own again. My mind can't take it. My signature, Holy Spirit, open up my heart. I want to repent. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it
I'm really wondering if I.
for the better.
Okay, let's see.
Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting
Yeah, I just need to shout.
for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'm for your return. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been gracious. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in
Oh, thank you, bro. How you been? You been doing good? Good to hear. Yeah, this song, I'm really hyped on it. I'm kind of glad the Lord like really pushed me to get on live and finish this one because I've needed to. I've needed to finish this one for a minute. I think, yeah, I made it. Yeah, I made this last stream, and that was maybe a week or two ago. Yeah, it's not done yet. This is the mix. This is the mix. It's almost, I got to master it. But yeah, as a mix, I think I got the mix right where it needs to be. But yeah, I feel like what I really enjoy about my music is the evolution. Is at first it was just about, the beginning of the walk, and now I'm realizing I want to talk about the most difficult parts of this walk. Like I struggle with temptation all the time, right? Like, and having to admit that, and that's kind of what this song's about. Is like you fall back into that sin, you fall back into that thing that makes you feel guilty, and you have to go to the Lord about it. That was kind of the goal with this one, was really just throwing it on the playlist. Making it so it's ready to throw on the playlist, but also like something that I think is new and unique and challenged me in many different ways. So I'm glad to hear. I'm curious if I'm going to use Spotify, like if I should keep using DistroKid, because there's this new, man, we're going to see what's happening. Dude, Chris, if you look at my most recent videos that's been spammed in there, I don't blame you if you don't. Bro, I talked about how AI was, Suno just lost a case in Germany. Like, they just lost a major court case in Germany. And they found out that some of the models of the AI actually kept copyrighted material that they claimed was used to train it so it would make copyright material. And it made the copyright material within like 99 percentile. So they lost. And then now Spotify is adding a new feature called AI Persona, so that when an artist or a person makes AI generated music or artwork, right, they now have an opportunity to label themselves as like a AI artist. And then they're not going to algorithmically get pushed. Okay. So this announcement came last night from Spotify. And then, yeah, I use YouTube as well personally. Like I know that they have their own policy. They pay more per stream. But still, dude, if you watch those videos that I've just been making it a point, because I know the Lord's been convicting me about it, because I know what's wrong about it is theft. Like, there's a lot of people that do not want to admit, like, if there's anything that is demonic about AI, it's that. Making hard copies, I should make hard copies of some of the records that I have. But that's the demonic part about AI, that people, like, a lot of people are like, oh, they're putting spirits in it. I don't know how much I could believe that. What I do think is demonic is stealing from other people. Like, taking from the dead and them not having any way for them to gain their royalties, which is the system that's been in place. Like, that's the real demonic part about it, is the law. Like, it just using people's voices to say things that they wouldn't say and do things that they wouldn't do, that are no longer here with us, man. Like, or are with us. And like, that's what's, I haven't been calling out that side of it, but I actually have been thinking about that, because I think it's an issue. Like, if you guys have ever heard of Solomon Ray, like that dude, I was gonna make a video. At one point, I made a video trying to basically call it out. Like, is it demonic? I think I still have it. I don't know if I completely scrapped it. I might have. But you watch it, and it's just so not human. It makes you laugh. It makes you cringe. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I really enjoy this. And what I've been saying with this is, it's like, bro, the best example I put is, especially with Christian worship music, it's like buying a stolen car to drive to church. That's the best way I could describe Christian AI worship. Is like, you basically, and this is the thing, is I think a lot of people who make this type of stuff, they're completely unaware of what they're buying, what they're paying into. So, like, you go on Facebook Marketplace, you go find a Hellcat for $5,000, no title. Only thing that's broken is the sunroof. If you know, you know. And you go buy it, and you said, hey, Grandma, we're going to church. Hop in the Hellcat. You drive to church, and then you get pulled over, and the cop looks at you, and he goes, yeah, I think that's important. Practice is important with this stuff. Yeah, you'll have to learn some songs. But basically, you're driving a stolen Hellcat to church, and the police pull you over, and they're like, hey, man, car's stolen. And you're like, what do you mean? I just bought this off of somebody. Well, you don't have the title, and this car is reported as stolen. You didn't look up the VIN? You didn't do anything like that? And it's the same thing. Like, people don't know that could potentially have the spiritual consequences of that, especially if they don't know the Lord. Like, and if they do, I think that should be convicting. Is like, okay, if we don't understand that this is what sources the material, and that it's just taking from other people and making them say things that they don't want to say, like, it's immediately an issue. Now, is it a salvation issue? I don't know. But I think it is dangerous for anybody who truly is a believer, because the implication that the thing that you're using to glorify the Lord was, like, taken from a stolen place at one point to generate the ideas. Like, that's why I'm saying it's like buying a stolen car to go drive to church. Because you had all intent in your mind to do the right thing, to do something that is pleasing and worshiping God. But you didn't understand that what you just bought into was something that was stolen. Something that had taken from others to generate and create these ideas. And now that Suno had lost their battle with Gemma in Germany, it might set the precedent for what is to come with generative AI, and why I think it's something that is kind of concerning when it comes to, like, Christian worship and music like that. Opinion on my lyrics and music. I mean, is it AI generated? Because that's something that's why I've been really hard on it. If you watch my most recent videos, like, I'm firmly against generative AI, and it really has to do with the fact that the origins of what created it was from theft. Like, they didn't get proper licensing, they scraped the data, they held onto the data, and if you're making songs with it, the biggest concern is you might make something that's close enough to a song that already exists, and they've proven that in court as of the end of July with the Gemma lawsuit. So I think it's something that a lot of people haven't thought about. Oh, okay, so you just like, okay, yeah, and you like write your own music. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's something that if you want to message me, you can follow my page. If you want to text or like send me a message, like hit me in the DMs. I'll get your info, and I could definitely look over your song. I also have a Discord too. Awesome, dude. I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. And yeah, I would love to help if you need help with lyrics, with composition, if you need help with songwriting, mixing, like that type of thing. That's exactly what I kind of do on these streams. Is I songwrite and I produce and I mix. And that's also why I kind of have a more firm, staunch stance on AI. Is like, I've been doing this for such a long time that I don't think it's right that a company is able to skirt the law to like benefit themselves. You know what I mean? Like, and to benefit. So I learned the riffs I choose from Suno. That's that. So here's the interesting thing, right? If you are, the concern with Suno is of where it's sourcing it from. If you are writing the riffs and recording them yourself and then making the original songs, the concern would be is that the riffs might sound close to another song, but riffs are not necessarily something that can be copyrighted. It's usually the melody and the lyrics of a song, and that plus the chordal structure, that's what really makes it. Whereas like riffs, you could always adjust, you could always like repurpose them and then do your own lyrics. Like, you know, you could take riffs that are similar, but that's the ethical concern with Suno, is knowing that now the data that is used to generate the ideas was stolen. It's been proven, at least not in the United States, but definitely in Germany. It's been proven that it was stolen from other places, and the information that it stripped was stolen to then generate the ideas. And then the claim that they make is, oh, well, this is so it won't copyright or create things that are already copyrighted. And the issue was they were able to get the models to recreate copyrighted pieces that it trained off of to almost 100% accuracy. So the concern would be like, okay, you, depending on how the song, like what you're taking from, it could be concerning for copyright. It could be concerning for like, and this is what I feel like the Lord's been convicting me about. This is like, this does need to be talked about, because I don't think enough people truly understand what, like, because a lot of people think that AI is demonic because of spirits being put into it and things like that. And I don't necessarily think that is 100% true. What if I use zero style influence and select the genre? The issue is how it's like what it's generating, right? All of the information it generated it from was copyrighted material. Like like most of the stuff that it scraped off the internet to generate the idea, it's taking from copyrighted material, shaping the white noise, and sending you something that it thinks would sound good. Now the thing is, and like that's the issue with Suno, is that in generative, it's not truly generating anything new. It is actually scraping and regurgitating things that are already copyrighted or already exist. And those people they didn't get the choice of their music being licensed to them or not. And that's like the big issue that a lot of people who are artists have with Suno, is the fact that the way it's taking the data, the way it's shaping the white noise, is those people didn't have an opportunity to say yes or no. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. But yeah, like I think if you write songs, you make music, and you use Suno, you're kind of, especially right now with the way things are going, litigation wise with them, with that loss, and then now Spotify changing their AI ruling. So if you use AI artwork or you use an AI persona, you have to now register that as an AI persona. And if you don't, they still will, and you won't get algorithmically pushed. Like, it's concerning. So I think it's something worth thinking about, right? If you need help with, okay, I've taught myself, no one taught me, but I don't want to learn secular music. Yeah, you could learn tons of worship songs. And it depends. There's tons of worship songs in other genres. And if you needed help with like learning guitar and stuff like that, please, DM me. I don't like covering. Well, you don't have to. Like if you want to know something about songwriting, here's the real truth, right? You don't have to covering allows you to learn from somebody, but when you write your own original songs, it's really learning the structures that every songwriter's been using for a long time. And once you understand the framework, you can now create your own new ideas. Like, for example, even this song that I'm writing right now, right? Or I'm like working on right now, I'm mixing. It's really 2 chords. Right, and that's the main thing. Your music has to resonate with people, but I think what's important is knowing who you want to point everything to, right? So for example, like my guitar parts, they're not too complicated. It's really 2 chords, but I'm chugging it a certain way. And this progression, this back and forth between the 2 chords, that's very common in most music. And these are all my original guitar parts, So when you learn songs, the point is to gain new skills, to understand chord progressions, right? And to understand what works, like help you with understanding your instrument better, or like maybe theory, which those are things that you could do as well if you don't want to cover and you want to learn how to write better songs, right? Like you could go to musictheory.net and learn more about that, learn more about chord structures, listen to songs that maybe, say like you want to do stuff that's more metal, right? Dude, there's so much Christian music that's in so many different genres. Like I listen to With Blood Comes Cleansing, I listen to Impending Doom, For Today, like heavy stuff like that. Sometimes I listen to No Big Deal. I'd be willing to, if you want to send me that song. I can't probably play it on stream if it's been put out there. I have to be real careful with that. And I think if I get more people on the streams, I wouldn't mind eventually doing song reviews. I think that could be cool. I think this one was just like a very impromptu. I've been getting a ton of people commenting on the AI thing, and I have a very firm stance on it because I think that looking at the data and looking at what it was founded on, it's something that like really kind of tears me in the spirit because I'm like, dude, I just know it's wrong. And the fact that I think the issue is it's not people like you and me and everyone else. It's the fact that they're giving these tools to you and me and everyone else and they don't know like the implications. Like that to me is the biggest concern. Is it's not even the fact that they did the licensing wrong. Like that is a big concern of mine, right? But the fact that most people that are using it really don't know the law, really don't know their rights, and really don't know like what the theft is, and then why it's problematic for them. Like, oh, that's cool. I mean, is your song out? Like, do you have it on streaming platforms? Because here's my problem. I'm on YouTube. Also, I'm dual streaming this. I'm streaming this on TikTok and YouTube. YouTube is 10 times more strict when it comes to copyrighted songs. Like, I may get a copyright claim on the stream. I've had that for less. For songs that were mine. Oh, then no, I can't play it. If your stuff's on Spotify, which, by the way, like, if your artwork is AI on Spotify within September, and if anything was AI, I'm telling you, man. Well, yeah, if you release through a distributor, it's usually on those platforms, right? But all I'm going to say is if you use any percentage AI, they're having tools that are going to, yeah, that doesn't matter. Like the tools that they're going to be using come September are going to notify you. They're going to basically say if your page is either AI assisted or AI persona or fully AI, even if the lyrics are your own original lyrics, right? And you're typing that in to Suno. If it's generating the final output, the way it's synthesizing the sound is taking copyrighted material and molding it around white noise to play back your lyrics. And this is why it is concerning. And now if you're streaming it, you're not going to get algorithmically boosted or playlisted. And on top of it, they're going to start marking your music as AI or not. And then certain platforms like Bandcamp are taking an even harder stance. And they're saying if there's any generative AI, we're not allowing it on our platform. So I want people to know their rights. I want people to know that what is truly wrong with it is not the human input. Like, what is wrong with it is what is generating from the human input. Like, the output. Like, that is the issue. That's what also, for people who regularly write, like who produce their own music or write songs, that is their argument of why it's lazy. Is, okay, you're inputting a prompt, you're inputting your own lyrics, your own original idea, but you're not producing the end result. You're just inputting the idea. Like, that's what, I mean, a songwriter does that in certain ways, but a songwriter also might write the chords and write the progression, and then they might also have a top line writer, or they might also write the melody. So there's like multiple pieces of the actual song that they're writing. And if the final output is not human, like, it's going to be tracked. It's going to be marked. And Suno's now, with their new guidelines that they also just updated with, is going to be tracking how many downloads you have, adding tags to their music so it can be identified. Like, we have to be serious about this. If we're using this to worship God and we are not using tools that actually have the right protections. Because mind you, the church, they have to pay like if your church, if they stream music or play music and it's not part of the royalty free catalog, oh dude, Taxman's coming. Like CCLI, that exists for that reason. If they display lyrics, all of that, your church has to pay for that. A bar and a venue, they have to pay for royalties for music. So if Suno is able to skirt the law, and now they're losing, and now these companies are changing their position on AI, I would reconsider your usage of it, because this is why I keep saying it's like buying a stolen car and driving it to work, or buying a stolen car and driving it to church. Because even if you don't understand the implications of what you just bought, that doesn't change the fact that the second you get pulled over and called out on it, you're now driving a stolen vehicle. And it's like, even if you didn't know, you should. And this is why it's important people know their rights, people know the law, people know what's going on with this stuff. And not understanding what the model does to generate your output. You're like, oh, it's a new original song. Technically, no. It takes from copyrighted material, scrapes it, regurgitates it in a way, and then makes it new-ish. But the problem is you could potentially get to that point where it's close enough, and they've proven this in court, that it's close enough to a copyrighted piece of material, and it's kept that data. So you could be in trying to do something good, making a song that's close enough to something that could get you your music taken down. And mind you, I've made original music, and I've had that happen on live streams where they've tried to claim that I'm making a song that sounds like a song. Now with Suno, it's even more concerning because of the tool. Like, that's why it's more concerning. So you could still use the lyrics. You could still play guitar parts. If you're going to release music that's fully produced and you use Suno and it generates it, it's changing, like right now. And I'm not even kidding when I say right now. Like, Spotify has just announced this. This happened recently, and a lot of these companies are pivoting on their stance. So it's worth considering, and I care. I really do. I think and that's the other problem with a lot of people that do the AI stuff, is they don't care. But that's why I'm saying this now, is it's gonna be, I don't care until they have to pay the price, until it's gone, until something different comes along. Because if the AI was licensed and they said, okay, whatever you create with this will be able for you to like make licensed music, then sure, that's okay. The fact that Suno and these big ones, that, like, as of right now, there's no such thing as ethical AI in the generative sense. And that's the issue with it. Now, you will end up having to use AI tools. You can't just say everything that's AI is bad, because it's not. That's not true. Like, I've done stem splitting to fix a mix, and it took a song that I was given permission to use. No, I do understand where you're coming from. You use your lyrics. That's original. That's fine. I don't think you understand the implications of what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling people. Is the output of Suno, right? because it's been proven in the court of law that it will generate something that is 99% a copyrighted song, a thing that already exists, thing that would be considered stolen, would be considered theft, would be considered wrong, right? Immoral, if you will. That doesn't mean you then take that tool and then use it to talk about your testimony. Like, the tool itself is part of the problem, and not all AI is bad. Like, the stem splitting stuff or stuff that you have to use to help you design something, that's not inherently bad, because some of it is necessary now. Like, some of it is built into the software. Like, for example, if you use Affinity Studio and you need to crop yourself out of an image, yes, they have like AI tools that do that. And it's a tool that helps you do that. Generative, though, when it comes to creative, the main issue is the data that it was trained on, and the data that it outputs is pushing you towards doing something illegal, doing something against the law of the United States, something that we shouldn't be doing as believers. And that's the concern. And whether you understand, and whether anybody who does this stuff truly understands what I'm saying, I'm telling you now, before it's too late, and you have to repent for this. Like if, for example, if I use a tool, I use a cracked version of FL Studio. I use a torrented version of a software, and then I put the song out there. I didn't pay for the proper licensing for the tools if I did that. And that's wrong. And we know that's wrong, because we're supposed to pay for the licensing to use the tools. That's part of the issue. With Suno, you can't do that. You pay for Suno, you're not paying for licensing, because they never paid for the licensing. They never paid for the rights to train it. They never paid for any of it, and that's what's in court right now. So now you're in this ambiguous gray area where either the labels are going to be the ones that have all the rights, and they'll just let everybody sample and reuse their music and do whatever, or like, you're not going to, it's a way more complicated and convoluted situation. That's the issue. That is the issue. And like, if you don't understand music law, like copyright law, what is considered a composition, what is considered a recording, interpolation, sampling, how to register your music, then this is going right over your head. Like 90% of people, it goes right over their head, because they're thinking, well, I could just use Suno to generate the idea, and I can use my testimony as the lyrics, because that's my original thoughts. Yes, but the final output is not. The input is you, the output is not. And like, that right there is the concern. What you input into it is not what you control. And excuse me, what you input to it is what you control. What you output out of it and take is not. And that's why you should produce your own original music, or work with people to produce your own original music. Because, I mean, it's about to change, bro. It's changing right now. Like, all of this stuff has been going to court and has been being changed right now by major companies. So soon, who knows? You may not be able to make any money off of AI stuff. You may not be able to get it playlisted, let alone seen. You know, they're changing the rulings as we speak. And that's like the big concern with all of this, right? It's not everything's about making money, but like, if you want people to hear your music, that won't happen. Like if you have your music on Spotify and you're paying for DistroKid, like now it might not even it definitely might not be seen at all. And if you don't believe me with that, what I'll show you is this, because this update came out last night. It's really, this could potentially nuke AI artists, like completely. This might be in the nail in the coffin for it. Introducing a new label for AI-generated artist identities on Spotify. So, listeners have been clear in telling us that they don't like seeing an artist profile that seems human, only to find out the persona is AI-generated. That's why starting mid-September, you'll begin to see an AI persona badge on profiles. The badge signals to listeners that an artist's identity may be AI-generated and does not represent a real person. Alongside artist profiles that self-disclose as AI personas, we will also start applying badges to relevant profiles. By default, Spotify will not include AI personas in any editorial or algorithmic recommendations. That means you won't see any music from AI personas in your personalized recommendations unless you follow them. For example, while we believe all artists have creative choice in determining how they present themselves, Spotify's programming is focused on elevating music from authentic artists building careers in music. Okay? So there's that part. Although there's a broad spectrum in how artists use AI as a creative tool, the question of whether a profile represents an actual human is one where Spotify can help make clear determination. Not about how the music was made. For more information about how the music was made, we offer AI credits in Song DNA. With AI credits, we've seen that people are eager to take the opportunity to be transparent and share how they used AI as part of their song's creative process. We're hoping for a similar level of self-disclosure for AI personas. However, it allows them to do that. In addition to these features, we tune our algorithms to highlight authentic artists based on available, basically this information. So the goal is they're trying to make it so that you have to disclose either way, and you're not going to get pushed at all. Like that's fine. The truth is better. But that's what I've been trying to tell people, man, is that the tool you're even using to develop this stuff isn't even telling you the truth. Exactly. Forget AI, bro. It's okay if you sound like Spiegel when you sing. Somebody's going to love it. And it's 100% true. But what I've been hammering on and harping on, especially on TikTok, is that basically like the means of which AI is being created, like generative AI stuff, the whole foundation of it is wrong. I'd be open about how the riffs came about and learn them on a stream. You mean like these ones? You can watch that stream. Like if you go to the YouTube channel, it would technically be the last stream. It's the same songwriter support. I mean, TikTok probably doesn't like the fact that it said that. But yeah, youtube.com songwriter support. That is the stream where I wrote this song. The last one, the one right before this one. Because I write these songs on stream. And he's right, dude. I sing like Schmeagol, Like... Yeah, I need to export this and like master it. I think the mix is pretty good. I think where it's sitting right now is right where I want it. Sensation. I like that intro too, where it just jumps. It just jumps right into the song. Okay. Well, that I would say that's not a good way of using, like, that's not a good way of using Suno. The way you see it, Suno is like a blueprint. And that's the issue, is that the blueprint has already been created and that creation has a copyright. That's my point. The stuff that it's writing is similar enough to where it's going to land you into a place where you're going to run into some trouble, man. And one, I don't like the fact that the way it built the blueprint, the way it built these blueprints is it ripped from everyone else. It ripped from people who spent years building their craft. It ripped from people who probably didn't even spend that much time building their craft, but did it originally, did it their own. And they didn't even get a choice in saying yes or no to it. And that's where I'm like, bro, it's wrong. It's wrong. And they've admitted in court, like they've lost in court already, not in the U.S., but in Germany, proving that it's retaining data that they don't have the licenses to. So either it's going to be illegal or the law about music licensing is going to change. And the answer might be both. The answer really might be both on those. Which, I would reconsider it, dude. I just don't think it's right. At all. Okay. Right. That is the biggest concern about it, is if you ignore, and this is why I keep my conviction. Like, it's crazy. The cognitive dissonance on this stuff, right? Like, you say it's a personal conviction, and it's the same exact analogy of what I've been saying. It's like driving a stolen car to church, man. Like, you might not understand what you just bought, what you just paid into. Doesn't change the fact that you're driving a stolen vehicle. Okay, and then you get pulled over, and they're like, hey, we pulled the VIN. This is a stolen vehicle. Like, I can only tell you so many times. It's like me learning from a teacher paying for lessons. How so? Like, are the songs that you're putting out on Spotify, are they put through Suno? Are the songs that you put out on Spotify put through Suno? Because you're about to get a rude awakening come September, if that's the case. Like, even if it's spitting it back out, you're recording it back in and putting it through Suno. I hate to say it, they've already taken their stance. Yes, music is built on notes and chords. Correct. You mean like ones that I record into a DAW? Just saying it's notes and chords is one thing. What I'm telling you is, if you don't understand the rights about recordings and compositions, which is what people actually copyright, right? That's what the copyrights are. Then you're going to be in a scary situation, man. You're going to be like, well, hey, look, I was wrong. Like, you're going to have to admit that, one, you were wrong, but then two, that you're taking it from other people, whether you know that you're doing that or not. Because that's the problem, is what it's generating is really not anything new. It's taking from things that already exist, and it's proven that it'll do it to an almost 99 percentile. in court. Now, this is why it's concerning. And if you don't want to look at it and just say, "Oh, this is my personal conviction on the thing," when the evidence points to theft, points to breaking the law to justify protecting you from breaking the law. No, you can get licensing for a cover. You know that, right? Like, if you do a cover from somebody, you could go to DistroKid and ask for a cover license. Like, you can get proper licensing for that. And this is why I keep saying this. It's licensing. Like, the big issue with this is licensing. And this is the same arguments that people who use AI-generated music make. Is, oh, well, I've learned from other people. I've learned from copyrighted music. Yeah, but if you release a song on a streaming platform that was created by a tool that uses copyrighted music, it will get struck down. If they find a sample that had a copyrighted sample in your music, they'll strike it down. But because it's AI, all of a sudden it's skirting the law. Like, that's why I find it's a problem. And if you say you're like, okay, to learn, but that's why I'm saying, what exactly are you doing it for? If you're putting it out there in the world, yeah, like, that's the issue. The issue is putting it on streaming platforms. That is the point that I'm getting to with this, is that when you don't understand the recording rights, when you don't understand the composition rights, and you're just putting music out there, you do not understand what kind of legal gray area you're in and how people can use that against you. How people can use that for their own benefit. And they can start taking your song and using it and being like, well, now it's mine because I registered it properly. Or now it's mine because it sounds like my song. Like, this has been happening for many years. The only difference is you're using a new tool to do it. And this is why I keep saying what I'm saying. If you don't understand licensing, don't start putting music out there from Suno. Like, don't. You're risking a lot. And right now, we're in a new era where even Spotify's backing off. They're like, dude, we don't even want to deal with this. We're going to start doing AI personas. We're going to start making people identify that they're AI music. Bandcamp says no generative AI. I stand with Bandcamp on that. I stand 10 toes down with Bandcamp on that. But if you're learning a song, that's one thing. If you're writing your own original music and using Suno as the final decision, like you're telling Suno, okay, like you could do it this way, right? Let's just put this into a scenario. You're using your own original lyrics. You're having Suno write the guitar riffs. You learn the guitar riffs. You record them. Okay, and you record the lyrics, and you singing, and that's the final song, and it's you mixed it, you mastered it, you produced it. That could actually be okay because of the chord and the structure and the way that you did it. The issue might be is somebody might say this song sounds like my song, and then they might still try to get you into a copyright issue. Now, say you did all of those things except mix it and master it, and you just sent everything into Suno and then told it to generate you that song, that's where the issue is. It's how Suno's generating that final output. Yes, like that would actually be the concern. Because you have to understand there's composition copyright, there's recording copyright. You can get licensing for those things. You cannot do that without permission. That is theft. That is what people who are being lazy about the law side of things are doing. And I want you to understand that too. Jesus didn't he came to fulfill the law, dude. It's still like that's the thing. We're not under it when we believe him. And it is what he died for, is to fulfill the law. But as believers, we are under the rules and regulations of wherever we live. And if the rules are, you can't, like, why is it that all these awesome genres of music had to go through all these freaking hurdles? And I was just having this conversation of them having to deal with sample clearances, with them getting sued for their song sounding similar to another one. Like, why do they have to go through all these hoops and battles, but the company that you want to give money to generate your ideas doesn't? And then you use the tools to justify it? Like, nothing new is under the sun. And like, that is the issue with it. That is the major moral conundrum I see with it. It's like it is theft. It is theft. And just saying, well, but the lyrics are my idea, but this is my idea, is not good enough. You know how many people say that in a recording studio session? A lot. You know what it requires? Evidence. It requires proof, like project files, recording sessions. It requires documentation. And your ideas are not enough to, like, that's not enough to hold up. It's not. Like, it's more than your ideas. It's the execution of your ideas. And that's when Suno's the thing that's executing your ideas, that's why you're running the risk. Because you're making the idea as Suno's executing on it. And when Suno executes on it, it's using stolen material to make its decisions and to make the final output. That's where it generated it from the white noise. And that's what's wrong about it. And I think as a Christian, we should not have AI worship music. No. If it's assisted, one thing or another, you know. But even then, there's like no models that assist that haven't been trained in a way that I would consider righteous. Like, it's like, I don't want to be secular and I don't want to make secular music, but I'm going to use a tool that's stripped from secular music and didn't even do it legally. Like, we have to really think about these things. We have to really think this through here. Because it's not just a simple, this is wrong and this is right. This is wrong in many different, like, ways. And it's not even just a personal conviction thing. There's enough evidence to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, if there's evidence to prove it and you want to deny it, then that's on you. Like, I think I've just gotten to that point where I realize that a lot of people, as soon as I bring up the reason why it's wrong, it's out the window. And now that there's evidence to show why it's wrong, and you don't want to listen, like, that's on you at that point. Because I care. I think as songwriters and musicians, we work really hard to not only bring joy to people, but to, like, if you're actually really good at it, work with other people. And I think the other part of it that's wrong is it's selfish. It's like, okay, I'm using AI to do it on my own. Right. I agree with that. with making beats for secular artists or mixing for them. Like, I don't want to assist the devil to push his message in any type of way. And yeah, you know what? I agree. Like, I think the thing with secular, like, the term is just worldly, right? And where I would draw the line is like the message, right? Like, if I knew if it was a good song, and it was jazz, yeah, I would mix a jazz record. If I got the opportunity to mix a jazz record, that'd be cool. If it had a vocalist and it was talking about stuff that was like definitely wrong, I wouldn't mix that record. No. I think even though secular is a term that is used for worldly music, like, we got to be more specific, right? Like, I think if it's music that clearly goes against God and music that lyrically it would lead people to sin, yeah. Like, but if it was a song, like, who knows, maybe it was your opportunity to work with somebody and preach to them, but they weren't making music that really would be wrong, but it's considered secular. Like, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd be willing to work with them, and then who knows, you could pray for them, and that might be an opportunity to open the door, right? But I think that that's what discernment really is like not trying to other people who maybe don't understand your position. But if there's a strong conviction within their music that's antithetical to God and what is taught in the Bible, then yeah, absolutely. Like, because that's the thing, is secular is such a wide term. Like, just imagine it was just like ambient music, or it was just noise. If it's like the spiritual, no, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's like, oh yeah, this is used so we can tune our frequencies, man. We're gonna be grounding and shoving crystals up our butt, like, I might say, I'm gonna say no. Like, that's a no from me, dog. But if it was just like, well, I like how this sounds and I want a better sounding mix, like, and they don't, and I think it's the same thing that's been described in the Bible about, what was it, like eating food offered to idols? Like, if you know, don't do it. But if you were unaware, like what Paul talks about in there, or just like looking at other believers, and if you're one of those believers that think you need to follow Levitical law for eating, right? Which, I mean, you're more than welcome to. I don't see how that's going to benefit you other than like maybe it'd make you healthier. I don't know. That's a good question. But at the same time, right? Like, not judging other people, but having discernment. Like, if you knew, like, somebody came up to you and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just made this lasagna. It's designed to sacrifice to Baal. I'm leaving." It's like knowing. It's having discernment. It's asking the questions. It's not, trying to be like, what's that one tool? Is it Alakazam? Like, if you guys remember that tool that, like, people on YouTube where it tries to guess the thing in your head, or like the question or the thing, and you type it in and it has to ask you questions to get down to the answer. I don't remember what it was called. Something like that. But yeah, like, I'm very strong on my conviction on that, because it's not, I think I've realized that there's some AI Christian artists that they're going to feel up in arms about what I said, and I hope that they reconsider what they're doing. I really do, because I'm concerned. Like, I don't think the issue is, oh well, this is no, I think it's actually a sin issue, like 100%. Because even the AI personas, right? Like Solomon Ray, for example, that means that somebody's human identity, it's like some skinwalker level stuff. It makes your skin crawl. Like, so it's like you just took it multiple photo angles of a human being and modeled them. Like, there's a person who possibly looks like that or an amalgam of that. There's somebody who exists like that. And you're just stripping their identity and making it all like, bro, it kind of freaks me out. Because even if you watch it, it feels so hollow, dude. I was going to make a video on it, and I feel like I shouldn't because I might get copyright claimed. But I have a video that I made on it, on one of Solomon Ray song. If you guys ever heard of him, don't look him up. It's literally Christian AI music. And I'm even taking more of a firm stance on generative AI too. I think the one that I need more evidence for, but I'm still taking a firm stance on, no generative AI art at all. Like, oh, you want to use a little cover photo or things like that? Yeah. You know what created it? Somebody else. Like, all of the data it took was from somebody else, and then it made its own version of it. But the way that it made its own version of it, that's the thing. It's not the fact that, okay, it took someone's style or whatever. It's like the way it made its version of it is like, I went to Shutterstock and I took a photo from their website and I morphed it in Photoshop. Like, that's the actual problem. It's not the fact that it's changing it and making it new material. It's the way that it's doing it and not properly getting licensing to make it happen. And that's why I think AI artists, and it's lazy, which is, I think that's sin too. It's sloth. It's greed. For some people, it's lust. They're making gooner content, and it creates other issues. And then also it's breaking the law, right? So, like, when people say AI is demonic, and then they're like, oh, no, I think that's the demonic part about it. And I don't think all AI is. Like, for example, some of it is tools. So, like, I could separate this song into stems using artificial intelligence. That's taking something that I own, and the tool that does it is already built into the software. The AI tool is there. There are AI tools that are used to help you generate art. That's one thing. And I wouldn't even call that AI assistance. AI assistance would be more so, I need help writing lyrics. I need help writing MIDI. I need help writing a melody or structuring my music. That's AI assistance. Then there's AI tools. You can't, like, skirt that. That's going to be a thing, right? My issue is, I would say, strictly generative. Like, I think that is truly where, if you're going to say AI is demonic, it's that. Either that or, like, the ChatGPT and it influencing people to do things that they wouldn't normally do because they're opening their mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be considered more demonic than somebody making some crazy claim that it's a spirit that they put into the AI. It's possible. But I think it's like what this song is about. It's the temptations, bro. It's like being tempted by the devil and openly just going off your own temptations. And I hope that person, like, I genuinely think I need to make a long form video on this and talk to people about this, because maybe it would bring more people to repentance about this. And it's not just like flaming them about the fact that they're lazy. It's like, no, this is a sin issue. Like this like us wanting to do this, like, you know how many, even I've had to be convicted of this. As someone who like produces songs, right? Like you want to make music that glorifies God, but you also want to be on stage too, right? Like you want to do something that helps the kingdom of God, and you feel good in doing that. It's almost prideful in doing it. Because you're proud of the work that you put in, all the hard work and effort, but really it's God who gave you the gift. It's God who gave you the energy. It's God who gave you everything that you needed to do it. And the worst part is it's all of those feelings minus all of the hard work. And I know I'm like, that might be a personal conviction type of thing, but the rest of it, where I'm providing evidence, that's definitely not.
Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation, slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You be patient, show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. My head's hanging lower than before, and I can't fake it. My sin reason, try to change it. On my own again, my mind can't take it. My sin nature.
You know what? I'm going to go to a lower buffer because I know it was working better. Can you guys tell me, is the audio fine? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Like, leave a comment, say something in the chat. Let me know if the audio is still like pipelining through. Because I just updated it. I've had issues with that before, where when I change the settings, it mutes the stream. It sounds so much better too when I change the buffer. Like when you lower the buffer size, you get better sample accuracy. Creeping in my mind while I've been waiting. Oh, dude. On your return. Oh, yeah. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it. Telling y'all, whenever this one goes on sale, I I don't want to push plugins, but dude, this one has like changed my mixes and masters so much. I love this plugin.
Creeping in my mind while I've been waiting.
This might be insane, but I'm gonna put like 0.05% reverb on the master. And I'll tell you why. I want it to sound like it's in a church. Creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting. Hold on, I'm gonna save this real quick, just because the one thing I have not tried with this stuff is the linear phase. I've yet to see if and I might remaster it tomorrow, because I think I want to like print a version and then end the stream. But man, am I glad that I actually like. Let me see. What's today's date? Today is the 13th, and actually, if you guys want a good trick to make sure you don't lose your project files, date them year, month, day, name of the project file. So I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to save this. I'll call this just the master one, but I'm going to try linear phase. Because when I tried doing it last time, it like blew up my computer.
On my own again, my mind can't take it. My situation. Holy Spirit, open up my heart, I want to repent. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live 'cause I'll be waiting for your return.
Yeah, look how insanely loud I've been able to get these songs. It's kind of wild.
On my own again, my mind can't take it. My situation, Holy Spirit, open up my heart. I want to repent. I'm in danger.
Ooh.
I need Jesus. Save me from my ways 'cause I can't take it anymore. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. Show me how to live 'cause I'll be waiting for your temptation. Try to change it on my own again. My mind can't take it. My situation, Holy Spirit, open up my heart. I want to repent. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. Save me from my ways 'cause I can't take it anymore. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your return. You've been patient. Show me how to live 'cause I'll be waiting for your return. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return.
Yeah, this is averaging pretty loud.
Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting for your reason. You've been patient, show me how to live, 'cause I'll be waiting for your reason. My head's hanging lower than before, and I can't figure my sin reason. Try to change it on my own again. My mind can't take it. My situation. Holy Spirit, open up my heart. I want to repent. I'm in danger. I need Jesus. Save me from my ways, 'cause I can't take it any longer. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it. Sway my way while I've been waiting for your reason. You've been patient, show me how to live, 'cause I'll be temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart.
So that might be interesting, right? Like I'm doing a little bit of additive EQ and subtractive EQ on the master. I don't think a lot of people know, like, your mid-range affects, like, if something sounds warm or if it's defined. And I felt like I'm adding some tools that add some warmth, but it wasn't enough.
Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. So you can change it.
And mastering's where you want to be pretty surgical about stuff. So if you have Pro Q, change your setting from it, instead of it being like 12 dB, right? Change it to, which is what you typically set it for mixing, change it to 3. Because this looks like a lot, right? But that's because it's not that was because it's, you're initially looking at a 12 dB scale. When you're looking at a 3 dB scale, oh, dude, like, if you have mastering speakers, it's insane. Like, you would hear this, 0.58, 0.47, 0.40. It's hard for me to hear on here, but I can tell, and I probably should have waited to, should have done it right after doing the polarity plugin, but I felt like adding it there was the right thing to do.
My mind while I've been waiting.
Dang, I could tell the linear phase sounds better, but I'm like, bro. Let me see what happens if I free. Honestly, I'm gonna bounce it. $24-bit. I'm gonna bounce it as an MP3 too. Let's see. V1. So we're gonna bounce it. We're gonna listen to it one last time, and I think if I really like this, tomorrow, and I know it's 1:23 a.m. where I'm at, 1:23 a.m. Oh, but once it's bounced, it's ready to go. If I like it, then it's done. Other than that, it's not. Um. All right. Y'all doing good? Y'all doing great? All right. On that note, let's see what the Blue Letter Bible devotional is today. Peter said unto them, Repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for the remissions of sins, and ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. Gifted with the very Spirit of God are we who have repented our sins and believed upon the risen Lord of the universe, promised by Christ before he ascended to the heavenlies. The Holy Spirit will lead us in the paths of righteousness. Heed the word of the Lord and proceed in every good work until the Son of Heaven returns for his holy bride. Beautiful, man. Just beautiful. I'm so grateful, y'all. I'm so grateful that I did this stream. I know I've been real riled up. I've been real amped up recently because, I'm learning what I'm learning, and I said something very controversial, and I mean it. But I mean it because I care. Like, I really care about the salvation of others. I care that honesty is being put to the forefront, right? Like, we need to be honest 100%. And I don't think what AI has been doing is honest. It really hasn't, man. It's just been one thing after another of lies, man. Just dishonesty. And that's why I have a problem with it. 100% through and through. Hmm. Well, let's listen to this one last time, and then I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Temptations creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation. Creeping in my mind while I've been waiting on your return. I'll make space in my heart and my mind so you can change it for the better. Temptation slowly sway my way while I've been waiting. Change it for the better. Oh man, Temptation. I'm pretty happy with it. I think there might be some things I'm gonna have to look over tomorrow, but it's done, dude. Like, that's done. So y'all, thank you for everybody who tuned in. I appreciate you. I appreciate the conversation. God bless you. I hope that you enjoy more music that I make, and I step forward in exactly what God needs me to do. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Oh, what? Did it, like, take out my camera, too? What did it do? What did I do? What just happened? Did it just, like, mess up all my scenes? Oh, it must have, bro. Something must have happened. Oh. Let me check.